that's going to affect your average a lot, but they're most likely both going to be outs. So what I like looking at is a stat that's your top 10% of hardest hit balls, what's your average exit velocity?
Mm-hmm.
And Chapman, of all hitters in 2020, Chapman was like 16th, I think, 16th or 17th.
That is a small
So I feel
sample
like
size, but
it is a
especially
pretty small
considering
sample
he
size,
was
but that
he
means
was
he hit
injured.
the ball hard. He
Yeah,
hit the ball hard in 2020. So I think there definitely is room to grow there. I still don't think he's going to be like an elite bat. Like he's not going to be one of the best hitters in the league. But if you have a really good bat with like literally some of the best defensive third base work we've ever seen in the
Yeah.
history of the sport, you know,
agreed.
that's like a good player. Kind of
Yeah.
like a Scott Rowland type almost.
Yeah, no, agreed.
That's a good player. Also put Scott Rowland on the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that DRS is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Andrelton Simmons will make the Hall of Fame.
That's an interesting case.
It really is. Me and my friend were talking about that the other day. But yeah, what was the final question I was gonna ask? Oh yeah. So we're talking about the Rockies. Yeah, I mean,
Totally got off track there.
yeah, I mean, if you're the Rockies, I think you got the team. Yeah, I mean, you got to get everything you can for the best shortstop in the league, in Trevor Story. And then, probably dump Freeland, get something for Marquez.
Dump everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
blow it all up.
Yeah.
Build through the draft. Build guys who fit your stadium well. Yeah, it's just what they're doing now is not sustainable. And if what you're doing is not a way of building a winning team, then you just shouldn't be doing it. Do something that can build a winning team in the future.
Yeah, no,
that's what it comes down to.
I totally agree. I was hoping for a little bit of a rebuttal after saying the best shortstop in the league a bunch of times, but I guess you finally conceded.
Shortstop, I think, is very similar to first to third base, in that there are a bunch of guys who you can rank near the top, and I've gone back and forth so much on who the best shortstop is. So, and I think there are 5 guys who, if you said they're the best shortstop in the league, I'd be like, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know about 5. I would say, yeah, I'd say like 3 or 4. I don't know if I would say Bogarts is the best in the league.
Correa, Tatis, and Seager's gonna have a big year. I'm a Corey Seager truther all the way.
Because he hits the ball so hard.
He hits the ball really hard. He's finally back from that Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
He's gonna be really good. I think you can make cases for any of those 5.
I agree.
So
I agree. I just think Story's the most consistent offensively.
He has definitely been the most consistent player over the last few years. That is not a question at all.
I need to see Lindor keep hitting home runs and sustaining that. I just think Story's more of an offensive force, to be honest, than Lindor. And yeah, Lindor's a better fielder than Story, but
I agree with that.
I think what I always say is I think that Story is a better player because his advantage offensively is higher than Lindor's advantage defensively.
That's a way of looking at it. I mean, I think Lindor is a better defender than... I think the difference between Lindor's defense and Story's defense is bigger than Story's offense and Lindor's offense, but offense also is more important. So
yeah,
I think you can argue either way about which way that kind of evens out. And to be fair, I had them pretty much tied in terms of my rankings for who I thought was going to be the best shortstop. I thought Tatis was going to be the best. I think he hit the ball really hard. Obviously, you don't like to see that injury, but thankfully it doesn't look like a huge deal.
Yeah.
Definitely needs to make sure he's not getting the yips and having those throwing errors.
Yeah.
But when he's not doing that, he's an elite defender. Hit the ball really hard. Good on the base paths. I think he's sooner or later going to be widely considered the best shortstop in baseball.
Agreed, yeah.
I had Seager, Tatis, and Story at about Lindor and Story. So Seager, Lindor, and Story all about the same in that second tier. I think Carlos Correa would be a little behind there
I
because
really
I
like
think again,
Correa. I think I totally agree with you. I mean, he's Correa's such a good player.
he's a great player too. Yeah, it's so hard to rank shortstops, man.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I thought you were gonna say Bogarts, and I agree with you. I don't think he's that high. I mean, Bogarts is like
he's comfortably sixth.
he's
Under
yeah.
he's a really good hitter.
I mean,
Yeah,
he's a pretty good hitter, and he's pretty good defensively. That's how I'd say Bogarts.
he's okay. He's definitely not on the level of those other guys,
He's still
but
a good
it's not
fielder
like
though.
he's not like a liability either. So
Also, I would say Story is like a good. I mean, he had like a positive DRS that was like
Thor's
pretty
a really
good.
good defender.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just Lindor is like ridiculously good.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
but
No, I
anyways,
love Story. He's a great player.
the last question I had was pertaining to the AL Central. I had the Twins winning the division, and a lot of people have the White Sox. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that and who you thought is the top dog in that division. Um,
I also have the Twins.
mhm, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think their lineup is loaded. They have some good pitchers too. I'm a huge Kenta Maeda fan.
hmm
I think we might see him. He can be like a top of the rotation guy. Um, you know, I'm not entirely sure what exactly is in their bullpen. To be fair, I haven't been looking at them that much. I know Trevor May obviously left in free agency,
Colome.
but yeah, but I mean their lineup is just so freaking good. They're
Yeah,
gonna just they're just gonna rake, right? The pitching will be good enough.
yeah,
Where
no, I
we're
agree.
at.
Yeah, no, I mean I looked at their bullpen and that was actually why I really liked them. I mean they have Taylor Rogers, Colome, who was really good last year, Tyler
Without
Duffy,
we got Kona.
yeah, Tyler Duffy. Um, I'm a huge Hansel Robles fan. I think he's decent. I think he'll help them out.
I have
Um,
a lot. I did not know he was on the Twins.
yeah, I mean he was good on the Angels.
Long history with Hansel Robles.
Yeah, no,
Most of them very bad, as you can imagine.
but he was
But
decent with the Angels.
he was, yes.
And then they have Dobnak in their bullpen, who was incredible last year. So
Yeah, what an interesting story too, right? He was
yeah,
like an Uber driver last
yeah,
off season.
it's crazy. So I really, and then their rotation actually is pretty weak. You know, I mean, Pineda's their three. Then you have Jay Happ, Matt Shoemaker. Um, if Barrios is consistent, then Maeda and Barrios, I mean, that's a great one too.
Yeah, that's not. I wouldn't say that's like a great top two, right? It's not like it's not like
Top
the
dog.
Dodgers or the Brewers, but it's not like an embarrassment,
Yeah.
which is better than a lot of teams can say.
The
So
main key for the Twins is if Mitch Garver can turn it around offensively, I mean, they're just going to be dangerously
I think he's
good.
going to. I did a deep dive into Garver's stats. So I was really bored one day, and essentially what my conclusion was, he was still hitting the ball pretty well. He was kind of screwed over to some extent by shifts, but he got shifted a lot more. But it didn't make like a huge impact. But the key why he got so bad was his swings and misses went up like crazy. He was chasing on more pitches out of the strike zone, making less contact with pitches in the strike zone. And then so I posted like this whole thread on Twitter. And then a Twins fan responds to me. He's like, "Yeah, halfway through the season, he had an oblique injury he was playing through." And I'm
Hmm.
like, "Yep, that explains it perfectly."
Yeah.
So that probably explains like kind of messed up his swing. It led to a lot more swings and misses. So, yeah, if he's back from that oblique injury, I fully expect him to continue hitting well.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a weird he's a really interesting player.
Yeah.
I mean, he struck out 45% of the time last year, which is just incredible.
It was ridiculous, yeah.
I mean, that is just yeah. I mean, that's basically one out of every two at bats he strikes out. Yeah, I mean, I mainly had the Twins just because I think their lineup is so good. I still want to see. I don't think the White Sox lineup is there yet. just because they're pretty
There's some
young.
good pieces, but I think it's kind of unproven. Their pitchers, I like Giolito, but I'm not really sold on many pitchers besides that. Like Lance Lynn is like, he's like you have like a few like middle of the rotation types.
Interesting, yeah. I don't like Keuchel, really
Yeah,
anymore.
he's like you're like a 3 or 4.
I feel like he's one of those guys where Keuchel, you're just kind of hoping like, I hope these hitters are really fooled by his 88-mile-an-hour fastball, or else we're just screwed today.
Yeah, or it's just when he's a contact pitcher, right? So you have to hope that he induces enough easy fly balls and
Yeah.
doesn't get screwed over by batted ball luck. Which it's similar to the ground ball pitchers in that there's a lot of variance for it to go wrong when you give up a lot of balls in play. So
Yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
All right, well, that's it. Appreciate you coming on.